And quite frankly...
Apprehend that horse-ass but reckless bragger!
But Daddy, he's...
Do what I tell you, you pile of monkey nuts!
Alright, Cryptis, what is going on? It is me, Mississippi Gonzo, Growing JK Rip Redcorn, and today we are going to be looking at the Rat Truck and the Rat Loader. First up, the Rat Truck, because I already have it customizable. Will I include this... Well, I include the Sasquatch, which is you take the Rat Truck and you take it through the Arena Wars garage and it becomes that monster truck. Most likely, no, I won't. That will be in a separate collection on its own because we don't have that many monster trucks. But I will say this. In terms of off-roading, this one is actually better than the Rat Loader. You know, the Rat Loader, we had them online. But, you know, I was also that guy that would glitch cars from story mode into online and just have them. And this was back before Rockstar would ever, you know, take stuff. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. Traction is not this truck's strong suit. But I do like it that it... Now, the rear end I absolutely love because, you know, it's... Apart from it being rather loose, you can see it work, and that's a big plus for me. That's the other thing, too. At least we can, you know, pop wheelies now. That was a plus. I remember whenever they started popping wheelies. Yeah, come on, get up there. Yeah, that's the other thing, too. I was going to say, both trucks seem to have the same problem. Do keep your momentum up or else you're not going to make it. But I am doing both of these in story mode because it's easier. So they're both pretty much based on the same thing, except this one's just a short bed custom side. You know, basically just a short bed. It's a custom bed. Because, you know, God forbid you put the actual truck bed on it. As far as I know of, now it's been a while since I've done customization to this. Because I've just had this sitting in my garages in story mode for the past several months. Well, ever since I started back doing YouTube again. So pretty much, yeah. Now, will I be doing a story mode Let's Play? Probably. I don't see why not. There she goes. That's the other thing I like about this truck is that they pop wheelies underwater. Now, if I remember correctly about what this is based off of, it is a mixture between a Dodge truck and a Chevrolet pickup from that time period of the 30s. But we don't have that many vehicles from the 1930s on here. I just got the Hermes back. I would like one of the Hustler to show back up. You know, this is why you get the...
Can't you hear me coming?
Trying to think what it is. The Auto Shop. If you get the Auto Shop, I believe it shows up as a customer vehicle. And you can get it like that. That's how I got a lot of my motorcycles back, too. Was just wait for it to, you know, become a customer vehicle and then just buy it. But... Now, I will say this, in terms of handling, it's not that great, but yeah. Oh, that's the other thing, too. It is a muscle car, strangely enough. But I know actually, you can still get these in online. I don't know what I was about to say, but I think it was going to be like, oh, you can't get... Actually, you can get them. It's through the Arena Wars website. Same with the Slam Band, which I will be doing the Slam Band review on that. Now, if I'm going to throw in the actual... Come on, get up. Get up. Whew. Now, if I'm going to throw in, like, Stubby Bob, which is, you know, what you do when you take the Slam Band into the Arena Wars arena, possibly. Because I want to get the old Autocross Bomber back. Now, for those of you asking, what's the autocross bomber? That was a truck that I had made to do autocross stuff with and online because I was doing a lot of racing at that point. And I had gotten in with like a group of guys that they did a lot of autocross style racing. But it is what it is. I wonder if that group's still around or if they moved on. Yeah, they probably moved on. There she goes. Up and over we go. Yeah, this thing will burn out, but, you know, traction is not its best friend. That's a deer.
Man, you should have jumped.
That deer messed up my run. Oh well. Doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I will say this about the rat loader video. I'd already made that and I was going to upload it, but I never got around to it. So, if you made it this far, do keep in mind that that particular piece of footage was made months ago. But I will say this one will actually climb hills. You gotta love that old leaf spring action from back in the day. But yeah, this is the other thing too. If you ever take corners with this, do watch it, because if not, you will roll it. You know, not as bad as the Vamos or the Tulip. Yeah, the Tulip will actually roll with you if you take a corner fast enough. But the Vamos, no, that thing is all over the road. That's a drag car and a half. But such as it is. And I will stop her right up here. So then we will cut to the footage of the rat loader. Now do keep in mind the rat loader footage is dated because I never got around to uploading it, and I was kicking around the idea of doing these collection videos. So yeah, you're going to see that in about a few minutes. So yeah, here we go. So, cut to the rat loader. And today we are looking at the rat loader, which I will be uploading. You know, I haven't decided what I wanted to do with the rat truck as of yet. But this is a very... Alright, I had to look it up right quick what it's based off of. It is basically inspired... The front end is inspired by the old half-ton trucks that Chevrolet made in the 30s. And the rest of it is a 40s Dodge. Both half-ton trucks. I remember I reviewed this as one of like some of the first off-roaders I did, and there was some kid up in there, poorly spelt out, and it's like, and he was asking me to add him, and I'm like, kid, stay in school. But this was years ago. I hope he took the advice and he's not out here making brain rot, but you know, that's beside the point. This ain't about brain rot. Now, these things are very hard to spawn in. Now, in online... You can buy these. At least I still think you can. But in terms of spawning them, use a beater vehicle. And have a wanted level. It took me forever to get this one to spawn in. But I got it. And I'll probably go save it in my garage. You know, stuff like that. It has a whole lot of torque. I'll just say that. This was also one of the funnest... This is also one of my favorite vehicles, you know, just to drive around and, you know, do dumb crap with. You know, this is how I had mine looking, you know, minus the rims. You know, I actually put the old, you know, the smoothies on it. Alright. You got a little CB jive. That's beside the point. So... Other than that, I do recommend keep this out of the water as much as you can. I'll just say that. Do keep this thing out of the water, because I have taken this places. But mostly, this was just a fun vehicle me and Slade used to, you know, do silly little skits with. Okay, I'll probably do that later. You know, but then again, I have this saved on a quick save file, so I can always go back and do it. So, other than that, You know, how's y'all's week been? Mine's been going great. You know, it's going to be a really good September. I still have to upload a bunch of other stuff and make a bunch of Let's Plays, which is what I plan on doing. You know, you gotta love the suspension on this thing.
They're worse than Irish people, except they got red eyes. I tell ya.
Excuse me, what?
It's hard to find. Why the hell are you looking for that? Hey!
Crackheads on the CB.
Stuff on the internet. Man needs
But yeah.
keep them excited.
Off-roading wise, I remember I hated it, but they might have upgraded this over time. You know, who knows?
Pay attention to your wife.
You know, that's all I gotta say. Who knows? The infamous Wall of Doom. How I loathe thee. There she goes. Yeah, on certain parts of this review course, I have to, you know, punch it. But, you know, in terms of what I want to do with the rat truck, maybe I'll just upload both of these as a double off-road review. There is the one thing I want to do, and that's why I want to take the beater vehicles, you know, like the Voodoo, the Emperor, the Surfer, you know, all the beater vehicles like that, and just make them all into one review. Be easier to do. I will put chapters up, you know, don't trip out. You know, you can have all kinds of fun with this. You know, my favorite thing to do is to blast down dirt roads with one of these. You know, I absolutely love to blast these down dirt roads. Which I will say, blasting them down dirt roads is actually fun. Me and Slade used to do this all the time. But, you know, do watch it, because it will get out from under you. And, you know, possibly roll. But yeah, I want to say I was going to use this for a movie. Yeah, another movie we were going to use this for, like another moonshine running film. But yeah, let's cut back to the nonsense, shall we? And yeah, it will pop wheelies. You know, that's the cool thing. They put in wheelies first before they ever put in drifting. That to me was hilarious. I was laughing so hard at that because so many of these JDM fanboys, you know, that's beside the point, you know. I always enjoyed making them mad, but, you know, that was beside the point. You know, they're going to do what they want to do. You know, I'm actually glad drifting is now in this game. I just have no need for making drift content as of the moment. But that does give me an idea on making a drift documentary type video that might actually work. A drift movie. That might actually work. But I'll probably do that after I go put this in the garage so I don't lose it. And then I'll go do other things. Yeah, I will say, you can roll this very easily. That's what makes it fun to drive. And quite frankly... Okay, let's just drive very slow. Park it right up here on the ridge. I'm going to park it right here. Park it! Please. Please don't dance. Not up here. You're making me nervous. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just going to call it stop right there because I almost went right down the mountain. That would have been bad. Alright, so here I am with the Apocalypse Sasquatch, which is the rat truck whenever you customize it. But yeah, this kind of does look like the truck. Well, I mean, if you did all the chrome and the patina paint, then you would get the, you know, the car from Mad Max. Well, the truck from Mad Max. But yes, finally got to own this one, a customizable monster truck, which I've said we needed for years. It should be nice to actually get one where you can change the body panels on it. You know, that would actually be nice. But yeah, this is probably one of the few monster trucks you can get that it is customizable. So some of y'all probably wonder, why ain't you got the scoop on the front of it? Well, the scoops tend to, you know, it causes problems when off-roading, and I don't want that to happen. But, you know, still. And this thing's got a whole lot of torque and get up to it. You know, such as it is. Yeah, that might give me a little bit of problems, but, you know, once you go over it, if you would stop dancing around, please. You're making me look bad. But here we go. Up we go. Get around there, you heifer. You know, maybe nope, there it goes. Finally, up and over. But yes, I do plan on also using this for a movie. You know, real redneck comedy. A blue collar. Yeah, it's for that blue collar stoner film me and Slater planning on doing, which he should be getting his stuff around the way. Kind of on the squirrely end, but you know, do buy this stuff at your own risk. You know, I'm not here to force you into buying it, but you know, just use some common sense. Because I get sick and tired of people commenting, telling me it costs too much. Well, I ain't forcing you to buy it, and I ain't sticking a gun to your head saying buy it. That's ridiculous. Yeah, people actually did that on an old video when I was talking about the Dune, and it's like, it's over $1 million. No one's sticking a gun to your head forcing you to buy it. I remember that one particular commenter, he got mad because I wouldn't add him on the PlayStation, and it's like, I'm not adding you, I don't know you. That's why I'm kind of glad I just do this stuff on PC. It's like, nope, I'm not adding you, period. Such as it is. You know, such as it is. But would I consider redoing this for the Monster Truck collection? Well, if you want to see a Monster Truck collection, I can do that. You know, it's got fairly responsive handling, but it does have the whole it does have the Monster Truck control to it. And by that, I mean it handles like them too. Out of this, the Liberator and the Marshal, I would most likely say that the Liberator and the Marshal handle the same, and then this one, it's just like those, but you can customize them. But I do say we should get a customizable monster truck that we can change out the body styles on. Or at least give us a few more. You know, like, there was the ones that looked like the S10s from San Andreas and the F1 and the F-150. Yeah, the 78 model F-150 in San Andreas that had the custom monster truck stuff. Yeah, that was a good one. Who knows, maybe I'll make some San Andreas off-road reviews. But you know, such as it is. I say just go ahead and make GTA Online one big-ass MMO and just give us one big map with every city on it. I mean, why not? But you know, sometimes you just got to do it for one time. Just gotta jump over something. Yeah, I'm not following that. Get out of the way. But how does it fare in terms of driving down dirt roads? Well, I mean, the steering does kind of help it out. But it can be a little bit better, but I'm not expecting this thing to turn like a Ferrari. Oh, that's a cop. Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around. Yeah, it's got brakes. Yeah, it's got rusted out brakes. I need to change the brakes out. But you know, still, we got to give props to the #1 monster truck in existence. And that is Bigfoot, because that was the one that got it started. So because of Bigfoot, we got all these monster trucks. You know, just so it is. You know, that's just how I view it. But I will probably come back and review this for a collection on monster trucks. Because, I mean, technically we got 4 if you include the benefactor that you can get through the arena war. So you got that. I am terribly sorry about that. This thing's kind of big and heavy. Will this actually get across this? Oh, yes, it actually will. But, yeah, I mean, you know, you can add boost to this, but I don't. Because, hey, I do plan on using this for a movie. So, yeah, that's just how it works. But, you know, it's got some good suspension travel. And yes, I know, I just jumped it off that. And it's got bounce. Holy crap, does it have bounce. That is a tree. Thank you. But yeah, you know, you just gotta love monster trucks. I love monster trucks. You love monster trucks. I got some monster truck games for the PS2. And there is that one that came out for the new stuff, so I might get that. But other than that, let's go ahead and jump into the very next. Well, this is just where it ends. So, we will now cut to the ending. So, here you go. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's off-road review collection. I am Mississippi Gonzo Grunge. I do off-road reviews. I'm only doing collections, so I'm not constantly in front of a computer screen 24/7. You know, just making off-road reviews, you know. Plus that, I want to do longer content as compared to shorter because I just enjoy longer content more. You know, you get to form, I would say you form a connection with people. You know, like, hey, get to hear me rant, rave, and yap about stuff. But, you know, that's beside the point. In terms of which one I like more, I tend to like the rat truck more than the rat loader, but the rat loader, I remember I had one in online years ago before you could even get them, which, trust me, was not an easy feat to do. But we mostly used that for skit vehicles. That was just a skit car we used. Same with the Mariachi Tornado. But such as it is, shoot the like button with a grip skiddly if you enjoyed it. Please do comment down below which one is your favorite, the rat truck or the rat loader. Which they should make in online again. They should just bring that one back into online. But, you know, it's whatever at this point. So then, be sure to smash the subscribe button today and click the notification bell icon to stay up to date whenever I go live or any other nonsense I tend to get into. But other than that, have a great day and a ballin' weekend, and remember, don't do anything stupid. And I will be seeing you all for the next episode of the Off-Road Review Collections. So other than that, take care.